My name is Jason JROCK Houston. This is an interview being done for Riffs Magazine. We can be found on the web at www.chaoticriffs.com. It's my great pleasure to be speaking with original Faith No More singer Chuck Mosley. How you doing tonight, Chuck? And I understand you brought along one of your bandmates?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, it threw me off a little bit. Yeah, it's Doug Ellefson. He's actually a good friend. I've known him a long time. I've been living in Ohio, in Cleveland, and he's like just come to do like all sorts of things, like everything for me as far as like administrative and manager type.
Oh, wow. So it must be.
Hear from me. I'm no good at that.
Yeah. It must be great to have a friend like that, tag along with you, somebody you can really depend on that's been up by your side all these years.
Yeah, he's not tagging along anymore because now he's actually playing. He's not in CUA per se, but he's actually just an acoustic tour, I think you know.
Oh.
And, he's playing congas, playing in the rhythm section.
Okay, now, like I mentioned in the top interview, Chuck, most people know you as the original singer from Faith No More, and you guys were based out of San Francisco, so I was curious, were you originally from Cleveland, or did you move there later on?
Moved there later on. I was born and raised in Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I grew up in LA, then into Hollywood stuff, and we moved out here like 20 years ago in town.
Oh, okay. And so, I just want to ask you a couple questions regarding Faith No More. Once again, you're the original singer, and so I was curious, Chuck. Was the decision to leave your band? Was the decision to leave Faith No More? Was that a decision you made, or what led up to you leaving the band?
I was fired.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, I'm pretty outspoken. I was even worse off back then. Grew up in the punk rock community, and I always talked a lot of crap. Are you allowed to cuss on this station, or no?
No, yeah. Just you're open to talk. This is totally unedited. Talk however you wish to. Yeah.
Yeah, so I talk a lot of shit all the time, and at the time, like I always think about when I was there with them, while it was going on. It was hard for me and everybody. Faith No More has always been like a kind of bickering kind of band. There's always been somebody that's got, picked on and something at the time. Mm-hmm. And so while I was there, when it was going on, it seemed rough. But, looking back, it was like really some of the funnest time in my life.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to ask you regarding Faith No More is you guys were one of the first bands that really combined rap and metal. How much were you influenced by the rap and the metal?
I was influenced by everything that day. I just want to finish saying that. Even though I was fired and stuff, it's been a long time, and we already had a rough patch, and we all get along really well now. We're all still really good friends and stuff. Buddy's always been a godfather of my first daughter, and everything's good. I was, as I think I'm like racially mixed and stuff, so I grew up listening to every kind of music. David Bowie and Michael Jackson 5 are among my favorites. When rap came out, it was really cool because it had the same punk rock attitude, only it was from the hood.
Yeah.
It was, what's that word? More urban. Another word for coming from black folks.
Uh-huh.
And so I was totally influenced by that. I thought it was really cool ever since Grandmaster Flash and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
EMC, that's how old I am. So, there's a lot of things going on in Faith No More, and the music that I, never experienced before in a band, like all the different types of music within the same band.
Yeah.
So it was easy to come up with melodies for the melodic parts, like when they started getting into that rhythmic stuff. I didn't really know what to do there, and rap was real new, so I just started, rapping over it, and I thought it would be a good thing. I've always been the ambassador of bringing different folks together and stuff, so I thought it made perfect sense to me
Well, yeah, that's great. Like I said, you guys were one of the first bands to do that, and so I got to tip my hat to you for that. And I'm glad to hear that you've kind of been able to remain friends with the guys. What do you think of the success they had after you left?
Well, there's always one side that's going to say, Jim,
Uh-huh.
there's $1 million or whatever that I didn't get, but, on the other hand, it's paid off,
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't harbor that many ill feelings. I'd be a liar to say that I didn't harbor any, but
I hear you.
there's a bit of bitterness that's always going to be there, or would have, could have, should have.
Yeah.
If I could have kept my mouth shut, maybe sometimes, that I was a team player, I might have done that, but, whatever. It is what it is, and it was for the players.
Yeah,
I'm proud of them. I think one of my most proudest moments is watching Mike Morton play drums with Ozzy. That brought tears to my eyes.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He was a great rock drummer, and going to see him play with Black Sabbath, play with Ozzy was just one of the coolest things I'd ever seen, and I was really proud of him and stuff. So I'm proud of what I've done. And when you say one of the first bands, I'll go as far as to say the first band.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm kind of eager to something like that, and I'll take all the time for that kind of stuff, A lot of people did it after and stuff.
Yeah.
People like the Chili Peppers, they basically were rapping on the song.
Yeah, but again, you
the first band that was doing it in a rock band.
Yeah. I mean, you guys were one. Like I said, you were one of the first bands, so you got the ability to be able to say, you weren't one of the other bands following the trend. You kind of created the trend, so that's something to be very proud of. And the only reason I've been bringing up all the Faith No More stuff is because kind of let people know listening to this, kind of who you are, Chuck, and what your history is. But I understand now.
You wouldn't know who I was anyway.
Yeah. And is that a tag that bothers you? Like when people introduce you, this is ex Faith No More singer. Is that? But I imagine you'd be quite proud of that.
Yeah, deep inside, not even that deep, pretty much all over. I'm totally proud of it. Like I say, anything that is on the negative side is just all material. But otherwise, I'm totally proud of it, and I get acknowledged for it every day by people like Korn and Serve and all that kind of band. Any old band that raps over rock or does any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People give me stuff, so yeah, that's one thing I have to be proud of for my legacy, whatever I do.
Yeah. And then one thing I'm really excited to be talking to you about today, Chuck, is I understand that coming July you have a new solo CD coming out, which is a bunch of previously unreleased demos. Could you talk a little bit about the new album and what people can expect from that?
Yeah, we kind of did a soft release a while ago on our own, but it's called Demos for Sale, and basically all the songs on there are on the album, our first album, Mosley album, Candles Against Literacy, We'll Rap Over Hard Rock for Food. We actually really started working on that album in the 90s, and it took a long time because of, what goes on in the music business.
Yeah.
A lot of business, a lot of bullshit, but it took forever to get that record done, and how some things, a piece of art.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where it's perfect, but then some people keep on going, and they're not happy with it and keep on going and keep on polishing it. And when you polish it too much, it just kind of it loses its edge,
Yeah.
That's kind of what this album was all about. It's released at a place in the recording where it's more really like what we were born for in the first place. And it's more rock, more punk rock, more noise. There might even be a couple of mistakes on there. just more raw. It's just more what we were trying to, what we were trying to do when we made that album. And I think, sometimes I like that. I like the album a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I think it got just a little bit too much polish on it. And this is just a kind of more version of what we were really aiming for, I.e. like Bob Forrest in particular, when you listen to that one.
Yeah.
It really takes you where we wanted it to go.
Yeah, I mean,
when you hear it, listen to it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, myself, I love listening to like raw demos and stuff like that because it gives you a chance to really kind of hear the track, as it was being made, and the original intention of the stuff, and I really dig stuff like that. Now, I understand that you're going to be touring behind this to kind of reintroduce some fans of Chuck Mosley and who you are and everything. And so, are you currently on tour now, or are you going to wait till the album is released?
Well, we're actually kind of on our maiden voyage or whatever. We did a couple shows in Cleveland. We played at a health food restaurant that sometimes has entertainment, and then a place called Fruit Cafe. And then we played a show on Monday at a place called Happy Dog East, which is called the Houston Tavern.
Wow.
There's a place where I actually saw Scenes from Stone Age there before it changed over.
Wow.
We played it was like a dress rehearsal kind of thing because we booked the shows just a couple weeks before. We didn't really advertise it much because, we wanted to make sure we had everything down and that the rehearsals had paid off. And I wasn't going to sound too crappy, because I'm telling the whole world right now, I'm not the best guitar player in the world when it comes to acoustic.
Wow.
Everything stands out, but people aren't there for that. They're there to hear me sing, because that's what I'm known for. They're coming to the point.
and how does it feel to be getting back out there live? Because I understand it's been a few years since you've really gone out there and performed live.
Yeah, it's been quite a few years. We actually started out right for a concept that POA went out and did a couple shows a couple of years ago, but there was some issues involving both the booking and a member of the band, not me, and not Tim Harnan, and not a wonderful bass player, Steve Rucker. Sorry, Steve. I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm really kind of freaked out about going out. But, so, there was somebody walked off the stage in the middle of our first show. So, it was kind of a nightmare.
Wow.
And then a lot of places we didn't get paid what we were promised and all this kind of stuff. So, we cut that real short, and we're gonna wait and do that right, probably at the beginning, towards the spring of next year.
Oh, wow.
After we put out a new record. So, in the meantime, Ellefson, my buddy here, has been trying to talk me into going out and doing acoustic shows for years. He's been trying to get me to do it. And there's a lot of positives to it, and I think one of the negatives was just me being really afraid of, I always have stage fright. That's never going to go away.
Wow.
When there's more focus on me playing acoustic guitar and stuff, I get really nervous and to do a whole show. I've done it one time. I went out and played it about 10 or 15 minutes of acoustic music when I used to roadie for my band Celebrity Sin.
Wow.
I roadied for him and I opened up. That was a long time ago, before the band rain. So I haven't done it ever like this really serious. So it's the first time. And yes, it's the first time in a long time we're going to touring. I'm on tour.
Wow.
And it's just starting out. As we speak, we're literally driving out to our first 3 shows, and we're basically breaking it up into little chunks, and regions, because I'm kind of too old to really go out to for 3-4 months at a time.
Yeah.
And because I've got a family and all that stuff, they kind of, I like to think that they depend on me being around.
Yeah.
So we're going to go out for like 2 to 3 weeks at a time. Anywhere from 10 to 21 days or something, and then come back home, and then go out on the next region, you know, go next direction, come home. You know, like we're going here and doing a couple shows in Wisconsin and Chicago, and then we're going to come home, and then we're going to go out to the Northwest and play up in Oregon and Washington for about 10 days.
Oh, wow. How
A couple
exciting.
shows on the way out and the way back. And then we're going to go to the East Coast, play in New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, all over around there, Philadelphia, for a couple of weeks, and then come home. Then we're going to go back out to California and play down southwest of California.
Oh, wow.
Cisco.
How
Then we're going to go across the country again, and we're going to go take a boat over to England and play in England for a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow.
And then a few shows in Europe and stuff like that. And then we're going to keep on going. As long as shows don't get canceled, as long as people keep wanting us to come, we're going to keep on going. In the South, so we're in every region in the country, and then go back all over, you know, as far as we can go.
How exciting is that? Wow. And I understand that the new CD is going to be distributed actually through David Ellefson's record label, who of course is a bass player from Megadeth. How did you hook up with him?
Well, it's weird. My girlfriend's phone was broken, so I got my friend, because I'm kind of technologically illiterate,
Uh-huh.
and so I got my friend to put my Facebook and internet on my phone and stuff, so that I could talk to my girlfriend on Facebook when I was at work. And as soon as I started talking, everybody seen that I was on there, so like 5, 10 friends and stuff started, you know, reaching out to me and stuff.
Wow.
And all of a sudden I find myself trying to stop talking to people.
Wow.
And Tom Hanks was one of those people, and he was talking to me, and he started telling me about all the things that he does, and then it started with the interview that he did for his internet radio show.
Oh, wow.
And we started talking afterwards, and he started, you know, giving me lots of credit and stuff. He said, there's no reason you shouldn't be out there playing. And so I said, well, let's see what you're talking about. And so he's the one that actually puts all these shows, and it's his alliance with Dave that, you know, their record label that released the demos today, re-released it, I should say. And then hopefully we're going to take that a little further, and we're going to do another release of some brand new acoustic music, and then the UA album hopefully so soon, and maybe the second Red album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Tom's like very supportive, and he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's putting me on the road here, and he's kind of done a little bit of everything, and he's the one kind of booking the tour with the help. And Doug's actually been booking the English part, the European part. But that's what happened. That's how we got hooked up.
Wow.
That was all years ago.
You know, and what I love about that story, Chuck, is you got a musician like Dave Ellefson behind the label. He's an actual guy that knows what it's like to, you know, be a musician himself. And the fact that, you know, your music is nothing like Megadeth, I really dig that he's still able to, you know, spot what a talented guy you are and want to help get your music out there. That's what makes this story, I think, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you know, there's a lot, like for example, there's so many rap artists that love heavy metal, you know.
Yeah.
So many metal musicians that love rap and love all kinds of music. Like on our VUA album, there's a song called Nameless that I sing with a girl from Cleveland. She sings on there with Your Name is Belu, and that's like a really mellow kind of ballad kind of song.
Uh-huh.
And like a lot of the hardcore people, that's their favorite song, you know. You know, that's just an example of, you know, the variety of taste, you know. It's not, you know, people can't look at somebody and judge what they're going to listen to. You know, you can't tell what somebody's going to like or appreciate by what they hear, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, someone like me, you know, like I like practically everything, not everything, but I just love all kinds of music. Megadeth, talent, all that kind of stuff, all the way out over to, you know.
Yeah. That's great. Now, I was curious. You mentioned suffering from stage fright, so I would imagine you're much more comfortable in the studio, like recording. Is that safe to say?
not necessarily. I need to crack a beer open when I'm going to do that. Just singing in general, I became a singer at one point in my life, and the biggest, fear for me is singing out of tune or sounding like crap, and it's safe to say it's a little more comfortable, but not fun. I get equally stressed out at going to the studio as I do going to play shows, maybe a little more playing shows, just going on tour. I know what they call it, my process, I drive everybody around me nuts for a couple of weeks, and it just gets worse when it comes up to the time.
Well, that's...
At one point, all that goes into the performance, So.
Yeah, though that's why you should really feel proud, after you go in the studio and, finish recording a song, or even, when you get to the point of releasing a whole, new album, because to have to suffer through that and go through what you must go through, and, being the nerves being what they are, and then to come out with a product that, that the fans really love. I mean, that's got to give you at least a major feeling of accomplishment, I would think.
Yeah, it does. It really comes from the people that I'm surrounded by, It's not always the thing that I do. It's just the fact that they accept me, or I'm good enough for them.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed by... I've been really lucky in my life. One thing I've been lucky about is I've always been surrounded by top musicians, from my first days as a keyboard player. That's originally my main instrument. First band, The Animated, everybody in that band was super talented. And then my front band, I can't really say the other guys were really good. I was a terrible guitar player and singer back then.
Yeah, well, you've more.
Yeah. Forward to Faith No More. Those guys were all superior musicians. Mad Brain, the Mad, VOA. I've been really lucky to be surrounded by really good musicians. So it makes me proud
there's something to be said for that, because you've morphed into the talent that you are today, Chuck. And what I mean by that is, if you were really... because if you were really such a lousy singer, I mean, like we were mentioning earlier, David Ellefson would not have even offered you a record deal. It's because he thinks that you got something to offer. He sees something in you that maybe you don't, or maybe that your fans even see in you that you don't. But that's a guy that wanted to give you a record deal because he hears something in what you do, and so I think that's something that you should really take note of.
Yeah, like once again, just being accepted by somebody with so much talent,
Yeah.
I kind of look at that as like almost being looked at as like a peer,
Yeah.
But my family knows better as far as the rest of it goes. But yes, I am proud of my accomplishments
And then I was curious. You mentioned that you're going to be working in the near future on an acoustic album, and you've been doing these acoustic shows. So when people go to see you perform, do you ever get any of the Faith No More songs from your era, or do you throw in any cover tunes, or is it all original solo material?
It's all mixed up. It's like a lot of stuff that from like all of my records that I've ever been part of.
Oh, that's
and B-Way. And then I throw in some Faith No More in there. As much as I can do on an acoustic guitar by myself.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a great way to really get your legacy back out there. I love the fact that you're performing stuff from your entire career and not just one era. So, and I think doing acoustically is a cool way to kind of just really strip it down and get people to give the stuff a good listen. And I want to thank you once again, Chuck, for talking to me today. I've really enjoyed talking to you. And I think I sent you a Facebook friend request, so we can keep in touch. But I would like to talk to you again once the album has been released in July, and maybe we could talk more about the songs on the album specifically, and because I'd like to help promote that when the opportunity presents itself. So please keep in touch with me. And this interview probably will be going up sometime in mid-June. I'll be sure to let Shauna know. But thanks for agreeing to talk to us today. I really enjoyed talking to you.